We're here at the Rendez, vous, jeunesse sur la democratie, scolaire. Here where 600 students from 75 schools, 5 boards and service centers are all coming together bilingual to discuss, to debate, and to amplify their voices on key issues that are affecting them. So we'll hear from some teachers, some organizers, and let's talk to some students right now. So Tashaya is a Sec 5 student at Marymount Academy. How's the morning going so far?
Morning's going good. There was a lot of people and I was really excited to talk about the event here today.
Well, tell me about the importance of an event like this.
Well, the importance of the event is that we want the students to be able to voice their opinions today in this world. There's a lot going on and there's not really a lot of consultation about that. And we also want not just one group of students, we want everyone to be involved, which is why there's all the 5 school boards and today.
Amazing. And why is it so important for students to have their voice heard and on an equal footing?
Well, a lot of the times we voice our opinions, but they're not necessarily heard. So we want it to actually be heard, and we want to do something about that. We want students to be able to voice their opinions and for the adults to actually take action in regards to these things that we want.
Tell me about, there's 2 resolutions that you'll be discussing and voting on. Tell me about those.
Well, the first one is equal representation on student governing boards because it's not the same amount of students compared to the adults that are in charge, so we want it to be an equal representation.
Yeah.
And the second is about school security.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about school security and what are some of the issues to you as a student?
Well, it's not necessarily always just physical school security,
Okay.
but mental, we often talk about bullying, but it's not just about physical bullying, there's things going on online and things going on behind closed doors, and we want it to be we want people to know about this.
And I just want to end it off, if you had one message for the Quebec Education Ministry or for the Premier himself, what would it be from the point of view of a student?
I guess I would say that we want our voices to be heard, and we would appreciate it that if you take the time to consider our actions, consider our opinions, and actually do something about them.
Tashaya, good luck. Enjoy the day.
Thank you very much.
So we're here now with Oliver, a student at Royal West, Sec 4. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me about the morning a little bit. I know we just started, but what's been going on?
Yeah, so we all were gathered in the auditorium. We heard from the director generals of all the different school boards. And we had the chance to ask them questions that we have concerning, student democracy and the motions that we have proposed today as well.
A day like this is so important for students, and different students bring different perspectives.
Yeah.
From your angle. Why is a day like this so important to you?
Yeah, so I feel like we're in a province, and especially on the island of Montreal, where language is a big barrier, and there hasn't really been an event like this that has gathered both English and French school boards. I feel like it's often just English school boards, just French school boards, and it's monumental because we can have all the different perspectives and the different realities from these different school boards and service centers.
It's nice that it's bilingual, right?
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to mingle with some of your counterparts on some of the French schools?
I've seen some people who I went to elementary school with. I've seen people from my own school as well, so it's been nice to see them there. Yeah.
Do you think, Oliver, that they're going through the same issues that you're going through as a student?
I feel like each person, as I said, every school has its own reality, but I feel like each person brings a different reality. So I would say no. We each have our own struggles, for example, maybe with one's identity, that maybe you don't feel secure or someone doesn't feel secure about speaking up about what they truly think.
It's interesting that you mentioned security because that's one of the topics and resolutions that you'll be debating and voting on. When we say security, what do you think it means to the general population, but what does it mean to you?
So I feel like the word security, we often think of physical violence. We often think, for example, the Ministry of Education, I'm sure many schools saw the video that touched on bullying, but it really pushed the notion of, physical security and act as the student was being pushed in the locker. But I feel like something that we don't touch on as much is the idea of feeling secure about oneself, about their own identity among their peers. I feel that oftentimes we don't want to fully express ourselves with the fear that, this person might not fully accept me if I say this, or they'll judge me if I say that. And I feel like that's something we really wanted to bring up today.
If you had one point, maybe that's it, but if you had one point to get across to the Ministry of Quebec or to the Premier himself, what would it be?
I feel like our voices are heard, but to an extent. We are often consulted, but then our opinions, that we don't take action from them. So I feel that I would tell them, I'm happy that my voice is being heard, especially in an event like today, but I would love to see more action about equal representation, for example, on governing boards, in helping students feel more secure at school.
What a great message. Enjoy the rest of your day. Paul Carpontanis is here from Lester B. Pearson High School. Welcome. What a fantastic event for the students.
Yeah, it's been really good so far.
Tell me from a teacher's perspective why you think that this event is so important for our students.
Well, the students actually get to be involved. So you have a coming together of students not only from within our board but across the island of Montreal. So it's important from a networking perspective. When you're debating ideas, it's not only people who are debating who are of like mind, but you're debating similar ideas with students from across the island who have different life experiences. So it's important to bring them together. They actually get to see, for example, the debate that they're going to be discussing later on today, that they're actually able to put something down on paper, concrete, and work out some sort of uniform decision.
I'm curious from your perspective if you're perhaps looking forward to hearing things that maybe you didn't know, issues that you didn't know they were going through that will come out today.
Any opportunity where you can give students a voice is really important, because our experience as adults and built in the education system is very different from their experience as kids in the education system. And when you get to hear things that are important to them, like this is why we're here, and this is why we're involved in education. So it's really important that they have an opportunity to speak up and that we have an opportunity to listen to them.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Je suis ici avec Anaïs de l'école secondaire de Pointe-aux-Trembles. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Donnez-moi l'importance de cette journée ici.
Cette journée est vraiment importante parce que ça permet de créer un échange, un premier pas vers la démocratie pour les jeunes. Ici, on retrouve que des jeunes impliqués, des jeunes qui ont justement ce désir-là de s'impliquer plus tard ou dès maintenant dans la politique. Donc, c'est vraiment intéressant de pouvoir créer un échange avec plus de 600 élèves.
Et il va y avoir deux résolutions. Oui. Sont quoi les résolutions?
Dans le fond, la première résolution, c'est d'avoir une parité sur le nombre d'élèves versus le nombre de membres du personnel, d'enseignants, etc., sur le conseil d'établissement. Et également, la deuxième motion est sur la sécurité, donc que ce soit sur le racisme, l'intimidation, le sexisme, etc.
Parlons un petit peu sur la sécurité à l'école.
Dans le fond, ce qu'on veut, c'est qu'on recherche une mobilisation qui se fait plus concrètement pour chaque école, parce que chaque école a des réalités complètement différentes, a des enjeux qui les touchent personnellement, et on aimerait que la sécurité soit visée selon les écoles pour permettre des meilleures interventions.
Est-ce que vous avez un message pour le gouvernement de Québec aujourd'hui?
Je pense que le message qu'on veut envoyer, c'est que les jeunes, on est prêts à participer, que les discussions nous intéressent et que aussi de créer un lien entre nous et le gouvernement permet également d'apporter plus de jeunes à s'intéresser à ça, parce que je pense que de mobiliser la jeunesse, c'est le meilleur moyen d'avoir de bons résultats.
C'est sûr. Merci beaucoup.
Merci, ça m'a fait plaisir.